I have heard about some of the awards you have won around these couple of years. If you could just share some of those.
Sure. Basically, I graduated in 2009 from here and then did my engineering before I completed my plus 2 from Bhubaneswar, Science International, then did my engineering from SIM University, Chennai. Then I believed, though my father was always into business, but I believed before making people work for you, you need to understand how you work for others. So for the first 2 years, I went into a job. I was working in Mu Sigma, which is one of the world's leading data analytics company. I worked with all those things, AI, ML, data analytics, everything, back in 2015 to 17. Then it was sufficient, 2 years was sufficient to understand what to do. Then I came back from there and I joined my dad and his family business. We had manufacturing of sponge iron and manufacturing and logistics. My key interest had always been into logistics. I love those moving trucks, moving parts here and there. So I was more involved over there and always wanted to do something on my own. Then from there we got the idea of, okay, the world is moving like Sir said, there are a lot of things happening, and why are we still using pen and paper? Yes, so we thought that the world is moving, there's so many things happening in the world, people are using so big things in the world, and why are we still using pen and paper? Why there is no advancements in this way of working in the logistics industry? That's where the idea came in of starting a fleet management company, and so that's where we started to build a software which can help the fleet owners and transporters to entirely manage their operations. We started from Rourkela. We started by selling people in Rourkela, then to Odisha, then to India, then to Qatar, then to UAE, and now we have customers in 5 different countries. And on top of it, we have offices in India and as well as US. Now we are not just alone in the journey. So how many of you here students, how many of you here do Punjabi music? Punjabi, who don't hear Punjabi music? Come on. Yeah. And how many of you know Jasdeep Singh, the Sauda Kala Kala song? Yeah, he is one of our investors. So he is the first investor who invested money in our company, and that's from where our journey became much faster. We started moving much more forward. And yeah, and then we have got a number of awards, being the top 10 startups of Odisha. We were felicitated by Rajnath Singh, Honorable Minister Rajnath Singh and Jasdeep Singh Puri as the emerging Sikh youth of India. Then we were awarded by Dharmendra Pradhan to be the emerging brands from Odisha. And there are many more such awards which we have received. But I believe the biggest motivation or the first achievement for us, which we still remember, is when we got incubated in IIM Bangalore. So till that time, we were all by ourselves. Our journey was like, we didn't know, like Sir said, the ecosystem plays a very important role. Till that point of time, we were doing by ourselves, when we didn't have people around to learn from, and there was no establishment that, okay, we have arrived. So when you get into the world's best, India's best institute, that gives a motivation that, okay, we are here, we have arrived, and now we are people around in our journey. Yeah, that's basic about this.
Okay, so it was really very interesting to know about the laurels you have and so on. So a loud applause to Keith. So Keith, as you know that with business, we also come up with some kind of risk. And the risk are associated with the kind of strategic decisions we take. How do you balance them?
Yeah. Before this, I'll add one more part to this. So, like Sir said about Motorola. Motorola is a company which was leading and they failed. They were out of India and everything was going bad with Motorola, right? But Motorola also gives you one more lesson, that if you are persistent and if you have the capability to fight with failure, you can again come back. So Motorola is again back, Motorola is still selling phone, and now Motorola is again rising and competing in brands like Samsung, even after Motorola being completely out of the market. And again on the same lines, Nokia didn't do that. Nokia didn't try to come back, Nokia didn't have that persistence of doing the same thing again and again. So that's why they are out, but Motorola is yet standing, and I'm confident that down the line, 5 years down the line, you will see Motorola being a better brand than Samsung, because they have learned from their failures and they have learn how to take steps forward. And talking about the risk, what you said, yes, entrepreneurship is always risky. Like every month end, when you have to give the salaries, you feel, okay, where is the profit, where are the losses, and all those things. But you always need to be very clear on what are you doing and why are you doing it. Like, I was always rooted to the problem which I'm trying to solve. Like the fleet management I've seen in my family business, I've seen the problems we are facing. And so it was evident that, okay, this is supposed to be solved and this problem is huge, is big. And if you have that confidence in your problem you're solving, then you can take any amount of risk. But if you're not confident about the problem, about the market, then I believe that risk is not worth enough taking into it, because entrepreneurship is a long journey. Like we see in news channels and okay, people have become billionaire overnight, unicorns are started, OU has become so big and all, but we hear the last part of it. But the reality is a 10-year-old journey when on a daily basis they have been fighting and fighting and fighting because they have their confidence in the problem and the reason they're taking that risk. So we have to be sure on a thing which we want to do. Like Sir said, you should be very focused on why you are doing and what you want to do.
Yeah. Thank you. Jasdeep, like students keeps on preparing themselves for their professional career because they understood that after they pass out from the institute, they have to join some engineering or medical or other professional institutions. So for an entrepreneur, to become an entrepreneur, they also need to inculcate some kind of qualities. Being also a student, right, in this. So what do you think? What are the qualities that are very much essential to get developed when they're studying in the school itself?
So first of all, till date, even after building so many products and so many things, we work with a number of technology in our company, in the software company. But I believe the reason we are able to do that and be able to compete with the world is because of the basics of computer, which was taught us so well by Amit sir during our time. Like he was a computer teacher. The basics of algorithm, the basics of theory was so clear that till date, whenever there is a new technology, new problem coming in, we know that okay, this is how it is supposed to be solved. So whatever be the technology, the algorithms are very clear. So coming to your question, so when you are doing from the school time itself, school is a perfect place to take those risks and take those failures. So when I was in college, I was a very bad speaker, like extremely bad. So for the first time when I had to go on stage, because I never did that in school, I never did anything in college, and because of other things which I was doing, for the final year of my college, I had to speak in front of an audience of 5,000 people. And I think that was the worst speech which I ever gave, because I never had that confidence of speaking in front of 100 people. You make me speak in front of one person, I guarantee you I'll sell that person. But if it's 100 people sitting in front of me, that confidence was not there. And then it took me a long time to build that confidence and be such that okay, I can speak in stage. So that's something which you can learn from college, because entrepreneurship is not just like someone asked the question to sir, how important is being a good oriental if you're in a, right? That is very important. That is very important. You need to be clear on your communication. You need to tell your team, tell your people, tell your customers what you want to do. So as important as it is to know the product, as important as it is to know what you're trying to do, it is also important for you to be able to communicate to people how to do that, what to do, and like everything around in the communication.